Hi, you're on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. Subscribe to my channel as well as my Facebook page. There we can chat. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you. Enjoy watching. Story 1. I feel like I might be stuck in a toxic relationship. Me, am 18, and my girlfriend, 18, have been dating for nearly a year now, and I feel like I might be stuck in a toxic relationship, but I'm not sure. I feel like it's important to mention that it's a long-distance relationship. So, after the first few months of when we started dating, she started thinking many of my female friends liked me, and she convinced me that the way they talked to me and such was because they liked me. She made me end the friendship with most of my female friends, which at that moment I felt was reasonable since they all liked me and flirted with me, right? But after a while I started regretting ending things with those friends, and I started rethinking it and really started realizing that they never really flirted with me or did anything out of order, and that my girlfriend just convinced me that they did. But maybe she was just convinced they did and she was just wrong about it. Also started feeling more down and eventually got into a depression. I didn't know the cause of this depression. I have at different times thought different things were the cause of it, but every time after fixing all those things I somehow still felt down, every time. Every time I talked with a therapist and they were asking the things that made me feel so down, my relationship was constantly in my mind, but I never dared to even consider it to be one of the causes or even the main cause of my depression. I went from confident, calm, patient, always happy and smiling, optimistic individual to an insecure, easier irritable, impatient, most of the times down-feeling person. Throughout our relationship so far she has treated me poorly and hurt me many times. Every time she first gets super mad at me and denies everything until mostly the day after she comes to senses and starts begging me for forgiveness and promises me to be better. But every single time she always ends up going back to her old ways. But maybe that's just because she has a really hard time changing. Sometimes she says negative things about me and then gets mad at me if it hurts me. I feel like she's made me a super sensitive person. I cry a lot when I never used to. A lot of times she threatens to break up with me or similar things, which makes me feel forced to beg her to forgive me and say sorry over and over again, even when she was the one who messed up and I did nothing wrong. Another important thing to mention is that I have ADD and some slight autistic tendencies, and I'm also a massive overthinker, so maybe she just has a hard time understanding me and understanding how my mind works. I love her so much to the point I'd say I'm obsessed with her. Her smile makes me cry from happiness. I get happy whenever she comes online. However, I feel like she's the only thing that still makes me happy. I feel like my happiness is dependent on her, like she decides whether I'm happy or not and have a good day or not. I want to tell her all this, but I'm honestly very scared to do so. I am so scared that she'll just blindly rage at me and start saying the most hurtful shit ever. I'm so scared that she'll break up with me because, to be honest, I'd rather die than have her break up with me. I can't live without her. I love her unconditionally, but I just sometimes think that she might be using that to her advantage in a toxic way. Honestly, TBH, even if she now tells me she is just using that to her advantage and that she's being toxic. Even if she admits that to me, I don't know if I'd be able to end things. I don't think I can. I feel like I depend on her. And maybe between all these things like ADD tests, autism tests, therapy and depression, I'm just very confused RN, and I'm just imagining it all and just overthinking it majorly. And a lot of times she is actually lovely. I truly believe that she loves me, but I still think she might be treating me in a toxic way. But I honestly don't know, which is why I'm asking you guys' opinion on it. I just feel like every time she messes up she just manipulates me into being sad and then starts naming my flaws, manipulating me into begging her to not leave me, and that way just escape from her having to own up to her mistakes. I feel like she always turns everything on me when in an argument, and then if I ever do something that's very small she gets unbelievably angry at me and will stay angry for hours and hours. Like this morning I woke up and felt amazing. I message her and then she just replies telling me that I'm 15 minutes later than normal, even when we never agreed on a specific time and I was actually earlier than that she normally comes online. And then she proceeds to get super mad at me for that even when I remain calm the whole way through, and it just really made me sad and not want to get out of bed today. I just a paranoid piece of shit for finding these things suspicious? Am I just overthinking everything massively, and should I just cherish that she loves me and never complain even if I feel treated poorly? I don't know what to do or what to think. Honestly, sometimes she scares me. But I just love her so deeply. P.S. I also sometimes feel like whenever I'm mad at her she short-circuits my brain with sexual stuff, but maybe that's just her way of making up to me and saying sorry, I'm not sure. Don't forget to support my channel by subscribing, thank you. Story 2. Me, 18M, and my BF, 18M, keep fighting but I'm not going to leave him. Hi everyone, I'm posting this here cause I really need advice on what to do to help fix our relationship. Me and my BF, we'll call him M, met almost 4 months ago, and at the beginning of our relationship it was amazing. He was so attentive, he always checked up on me, and he was just the perfect boyfriend, and then it just kind of stopped and we started fighting more. One of our first fights was because a girl that he was acquaintances with kept touching him without his consent, and he kept telling me that it was making him uncomfortable, yet he wouldn't tell her to just leave him alone, and I'm not going to lie, frustrated me, and I lashed out, and the conversation ended with us both crying and me cursing the girl out on his Instagram, and when I did she tells me that she's not the only one touching him and stuff, and that his ex is doing it too, and he just decided to never tell me about it, and he wasn't going to. The only reason I ever found out was because she let it slip that it wasn't just her doing it. But at the end of all of that we ended up getting past it. I ended up blocking her and she's out of his life now, and so is the ex. But after we got through that I find out that one of his friends that he talked about almost constantly to me was also one of his friends with benefits in the past, and it made me uncomfortable, and I told him that it made me uncomfortable, and he just kept brushing me off and telling me that it's fine, it was before me, so just get over it because he's my friend and I don't want to get rid of him just because we used to do stuff and it makes you uncomfortable. And I'm not going to lie, I lashed out again and I gave him an ultimatum: get rid of the friend or get rid of me, and he got rid of the friend, but then he spent the next couple of weeks complaining and telling me that he resents me for it and that I should have just been okay with the fact that they used to do stuff. So I went and I messaged that friend trying to see if I could be okay with it, and when I messaged him to ask him questions and see if there's any way that I could just ignore the fact that they used to do stuff and that they used to be together, but when I tried talking to a friend, he was being civil at first, but then out of nowhere he makes a snide remark saying that M is very upset with me and he's not pleased with me at all, and that I should start worrying about the relationship, and it pissed me off cause who the F asterisk 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 is he to try to make me overthink about my relationship when he doesn't know S asterisk 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 about us. So I ended up making the ultimatum again, and again he chose me. Then we fight again because a close friend of his was talking S asterisk 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 about me in his DMs and telling M to cheat on me and stuff, and we got through it and everything. I ended up asking him to just block the friends because I don't want to fight anymore, and he did block them. Later on though he breaks up with me out of nowhere, and then I find out that throughout our relationship he's been in love with his ex and he's been thinking about her every night, and it broke my F asterisk 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 heart, and it still does when I think about it. But after all of that we got through it again, and I keep pushing and I keep trying everything I can think of to try and make us work because I love him, and the thought of losing him makes me feel like I'm dying. I'm scared and I don't know how to talk to him about it because every time I've tried he either completely shuts me out or we start fighting again, and I'm scared if we keep fighting he's going to leave again. I don't want him to leave. I'm sorry if a lot of this doesn't make sense. I'm using Google Voice Type right now cause this is kind of a lot and it censors out curse words, so I'm sorry about that. And if anyone took the time to read all of this jumbled mess, thank you, and I really appreciate if anyone has any advice that I could maybe use to try to salvage our relationship. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, there are a lot of interesting stories ahead of you.